Oh, come on. Yo. Yo. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we are going to be taking a look at JEONGHAN and WONWOO's track 어젯밤 live, because I heard in my comments when I looked at the music video that they had some form of dance visual in their live performance. So we're going to be taking a look. Who knows if this will make its way onto YouTube? We're hoping, but I do know this is going to be on Patreon. We're going to enjoy it. Let's watch. Summer vampires is what this feels like right now, doesn't it? I do know they have a little audiobook that explains their whole storyline, which I think is super dope. Gosh, for an Mnet comeback, this is so cool. I love it. We're here for it.
악몽이 된 남자 이야기. 환상과 현실. 그 경계에 있는 꿈의 도시에서 어젯밤.
Oh, come on. Yo. Yo.
당신도 이 남자를 본 적 있습니까?
Oh, with the fog already. Come on. Start with a pistol squat in the intro. Okay. Love it. Oh, a lot of controlling partner work. Normally I'd appreciate like a full cam, but I don't mind the camera shots for this because I feel like the choreography is tailored to the choreo. That was cool. Yeah, love the subtlety here. Also love the fact we have choreography to appreciate. It's 17, I feel like we gotta enjoy it. That was so smooth. Wow. Yeah, love the cannon on that. Knocks and knocks. I mean, now looking, it's cool that they're taking on each other's, like, rhythmic sections, you know? It's just balanced on the other side. Love that. Na na bum. Da da da. Da da da. We can get on board with this. Yes. The progression of the knock on that was cool. Yeah. I like the all black the dancers are wearing too. They're contributing so much in such a great way to this. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. 어젯밤. What an earworm too, right? Yeah. Good transition on that. The assist on the end. Oof. Yeah. And I like low-key, I kind of like it when there's feathers. Like the feathers that drop instead of confetti. It's just, I don't know, it has this extra like level of dainty dramaticness to it. I also heard that everybody's been waiting for JEONGHAN to go back to his blonde era. He's here. We found it. Welcome back. But I also find this a smidgen humorous on my end because I do remember there was a period of time where the only two members of 17 I did not know were these two. So I feel like this would have been very fitting when I did my marathon way back. That's my first one. This would have been great to have because I'd be like, I don't know either of them. And then I would know, and then I'd be in the, but I know them now. So that all is well with the world. But I really love how they started this promo going into this. This is just super cool. I mean, yeah, I'm excited to talk about this. There's a lot of overlap, great partnering imagery, really cool. Probably a ton of wordplay for sure. Right here, have you ever seen this man? I see two of them. And there's, of course, conspiracies on, like, who is who, and I'm assuming the audiobook kind of explains it or makes it a little bit more clear. But I like the fog, really dope start. I'm such a sucker for a Spanish guitar, too. It's so fun. And I love the fact, low-key, that they say on all of the titles of this track for Otepam, they say who the guitarist is. That is so awesome. And give flowers where flowers are due. It's such an iconic tone setting in the music. Cool. Opposition, of course, they showcase. I love that they're kind of leaning forward. The dancers are used to assist, to add embellishment and ornaments to the track, but also really help. They're functional in the storyline. Because it would be one thing if it was just R2, but they're helping us create some really nice imagery, some parallel formations and balance. I love the little lift there. That was really cool. Keeping them kind of in a fixed position to do that. So great on them for that. They branch up. I love that bum, da-da-da-da. Really nice tension. Matches the overall timbre and tonal color of that guitar very well. I like the interlocking there. So they use that to help assist each other by pressing their energy on their backs to drop into a pistol squat. And I like that they drop and then our dancers are all turned to their respective sides and they bring those arms down. Very nice. And they go ding ding. I really like that little reverb moment. That's cool. So they slide on the ground. The fog disperses, of course. The more movement you have, the less the fog's going to stick around. So it's cool. I like just the not nostalgicness of it, but it definitely gives like a chill, a conversational element to their posture, which I really like, which helps tie into the just with the guitar, it feels very. When you hear it, a lot of times you think like vacation getaway to Spain, that kind of stuff, at least to me. And so it's fun to, see some conversational overlap here. Now, do I think this is a vacation? No. It does give summer vibes. It's kind of not gonna feel, it's always going to feel that way for me. It's just in the context of the rest of how the sound is produced. But it's in the summer, so I mean, let's make this a summer bop. We're here for it. We love it. I like the switch on that where they go and they press their weight more so in those arms, so that switch of the legs feels a little bit more labored. I love that. More control. I love that boom on the bass. They have fun accent where you still have JEONGHAN looking at us, really great, and then you have WONWOO looking away, creating opposition. And I do like the usage of the black and white. Knocks and knocks, and I like the knocks and knocks. So there's a lot of this and then a lot of these types of reactionary, like tense rebound motions that we're seeing throughout, which I think is really cool. And I like the fact that we see it from our members as well as from our dancers. It's just very complimentary in general. Creating nice levels, creating like seated postures, and we're able to literally have one of them lay out and be guided into kind of manipulated positions and feel like we're having some sense of one's controlling the other, but he's not having to do as much. But it would be a lot more labor to justify if they were just by themselves. So the dancers are providing fantastic functional progression of the storyline with all of this. Drop him down, they have to be mindful to not like knock him out or like drop him, right? So I appreciate the gentleness. And then right here, it feels like we've had all the dancers now infiltrate instead of just the grouping by WONWOO, which is cool. So it builds it up very well. So they go da-da-da-da. So I love the little jazz hands where they go and they expand it around him. Really nice choice. Super cool. And I like this little shimmy to kind of help syncopate with their hands. Really cool choice. Then you have the opposition. Once again, great mirroring. They go and rotate around. The slowly tempo walks. I'm always a fan whenever we walk on tempo. Looks great. Dun, 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 dun. Really nice. I love how he built that here. Very conversational, like I said. Presenting the hand like we're talking. If we have our hands here, it feels more placed, like we're playing instruments. But here it's like I'm talking, I'm speaking, I'm focusing more on my vocals and my lyricism, which is cool. In our dancers right here, it's the same stuff that we end up seeing later. So we'll talk about that part in that, you know, whenever we see it from the front, it's a dolphin cannon progression, which I really like. But I like the fact that the camera shot has it panning around the back. That's so cool and allows for this really, really fun moment that I think the carrots love it. Love this right here. He goes, he said, boom, right there on the hip. And everyone's like, I wish that was my hand. You know what I mean? I just feel, I can already hear it. I can hear it. So good. Such the fan service right here. Dun, dun, dun. I love this. And then they go dun, da, 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 dun. Ooh, we're here for it. And I love the tension of how my dancers slowly rise up. Great level choice. And I love the lighting in the back. Love the fact that we have our light sticks too. It's so fun. Subtlety here. Boom. Super dope. Then right here, he shows some sense of control. So there's a lot of that imagery, but I like the subtlety in which WONWOO, you know, he has it. He's vocalizing, very stable in vocals. It doesn't shock me at all. They're just coming off their concerts. So they definitely have that stamina in play for stability on density of content. That's just a lot of times you naturally grow in that stamina for the more busy you are within using it. And so for me, I feel like their comebacks are kind of like easy peasy compared to, because they're coming off of a concert, you know? This is like for 2.5 minutes or like for, you know, 3 minutes. It's not for 3 hours. So I feel like they're definitely in a better conditioned state than if they're coming off not off of a concert. So I think that's super cool. So I'm not really concerned. I've never really been concerned with Maestro nor with this one with their live performances because of going in knowing that, at least for me, which I think is super cool. I like that they go back in. There's a da 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 da, and there's a subtlety right here, taking the chest, making it complement with that little heel toe that's going on right there. And they go from side to side, which is dope. And then they branch it in. All of this here does remind me of the 8 section of Maestro, which I really like. So they pan it out, boom, ting. And they rotate it through that right there, that rotation, which I really like. It's fun. Then that part, that little boom, boom, boom. Gosh, right there. I love it and how they take it. And they're using and they're staying connected in order to really make that feel like a fun visual, but still connect. Gosh, that was cool. So they go and they span it all the way to the shoulder. I really like the commitment on that. Good. Subtlety here. Boom. Doom. Nice little accents happening from our dancers. So it feels like there's presence of walk and tension, but there's accents to help justify other parts of the music that maybe our members are not quite utilizing because they're focusing on vocals or other present representation, which I love. And I like how he spins around the back. Then we go, hitting it through. Boom, boom. Ojibam. Yeah, and this type of track, you don't want to go super ham on. I feel like a lot of these choices feel very fitting. There's a stoicness about it, and especially because of their acting chops and how they establish their storyline in their music video. For me, this feels like a snapshot of what would happen if our actors dance. Like, what is the physical posture of their storyline? It's kind of how it comes across. So shout out to the choreographer for that. It is hard to take a complex storyline and bring a musicality forefront to it, where like the priority is like your dancing is complementing your track, but in the track has to complement your storyline. Like there's a lot of really deep things going on that you can choose to dive into in like a huge audiobook like what they released, or you can enjoy it for what it is, where there's some mystery behind it. They create that in their posture, how they come across in their conversational feature moments, as well as the dancers. There's some stoicness with accent points that provide a little bit of surprise and catch you off guard. And so I really like all of that. Super cool. The turnaround is really nice. The turn, nice little rebounds on that. Oh, jet bomb. I like that, where it kind of feels like, you know, it's similar to like the type of hand we end up seeing on a lot of these rebound motions. And we see a little rebound happening with different joints like our shoulder, which is cool. And there's your tension right here. It matches what WONWOO did to JEONGHAN earlier, which I really like. Then the accent there. Ooh, I love that. Wow. Oh no. What did I do? I got too trigger happy. So sorry. Here we go. Turn through. This is where we were. Boom. Jet bomb. Yeah, I'm hitting through. Nice. Da 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 da, and they speed up, boom. And this right here reminds me of the la 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 la, boom. So that it feels like there's some overlap there, But I love how they take the tension, boom, through, and they travel it down so nice. And I actually appreciate the camera traveling it down. A lot of times I'm like, camera, why are you looking there? But I actually appreciate it because we're able to see what they were going for. And then it goes into a little juby slider, just like a switch on the slide. I love the body roll on that. Very nice. Like butter. And then they rotate that leg around. Very fun. They even bring it back in, and I really like this key point, Ojebam, because you end up seeing them do it, and then you end up seeing them do it together as like a partner, collaborative thing at the end, which feels so fitting, and I just really like it. I love the intention of it. Ojebam. So then right here, we reset, and it feels like we're doing the same choreo all over again, but they're standing this time. And I like how there's a little press from the dancers onto our member, which is cool. Opposition, once again, and they're facing. So there's a lot of those types of things that we're showcasing just in formations that help us appreciate that opposition that we were seeing in the music video. Really cool. Right here. Now this part right here, we're going right there. There's your dolphin. And then we roll onto our back. This is considered a cannon, not a ripple. A ripple is one movement that proceeds from one person to another. A cannon is a sequence of movements with different starts and different finishes in timing, not in movement. So I really like that choice. And I like the walk around from JEONGHAN too. He has some subtlety right there, and they all come up. Knocks and knocks. So they reset, so they actually did that whole little canon in a different segment, so it actually gives us a nice refreshing take on it, because we see it, I think, in the pre-chorus, right? But here we're seeing it in the verse before knocks and knocks, where we would see the dancers all kind of create little groupings. So even in the choreo, we're kind of experiencing some deja vu, or completely puzzle piece restructuring, but it's still familiar, but it's done in a fresh take because of the camera shots and in where the dancers are in the formations and in the part of the track. It's very nice. The subtlety here, boom, once again, another rebound. I really like that. It does feel like we're kind of entertaining the time manipulation, which right there into the niche of the lore. Really cool. Knocks in, knocks, really nice on that. It's just different than a lot of these accents that we were seeing. I like just the expansion out. Probably just his own personal choice, which is cool. I love that. Da-da-da-da. And this kind of little curvature that's happening there does remind me a lot of like that Latin ballroom aesthetic flair because of the Spanish guitar. It's kind of hard to not think about that, which I love that. And I love this part here where we go boom, da 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 da. So we take it and then we reverse it. Boom. Da da da. And we're going to take this. Da da. And then we're taking this movement that was at the end of the course and we're putting it at the very beginning. Oh my gosh, they're literally just taking words, like words in movement form, and completely restructuring these sentences and saying the same thing in different ways. Oh my god, it's so cool. There's your, ooh, there's a little body roll. It's a very little seductive moment. I like this part, boom, and then we're building it up by creating more tension in these rebounds happening. Feels like with the hips, and then there's a beautiful wave where they're accenting from the shoulder and they're creating tension all the way through those fingers. Oh no through the fingers. They take it, boom, and they fist it at the tail end to create a fun kind of reset whenever they press those arms down. Then they take those arms up. And that part we didn't see the first chorus, but I know they did because I saw that mannerism, but we got to see it more clearly here because of the camera shot. Thank you. The camera, boom, boom, boom. Really nice choice. Boom, right here. I really love this shifting right there. Nice accented staccato. And there's your dancers hanging out right over there in the back, complementing in the environment setting where you still have your two over here, but they're definitely there placating to the fullness of the motion. When you have a lot of people do subtle movement, it carries a certain degree of fullness and captivation, which is what we see here. I love it. It's very fitting for this type of track. So they bring it up, and then I love the little swoopy swoop that's happening. They have to connect, and kind of like they have to have some form of connection happening between the knee, that they're kind of picking up the foot in the rotation of the standing leg. They have to have good stability there. We don't want to kind of falter or have a stability check on that where we're wavering our weight. We want it to be very clear on that rotation with that leg, which is super nice. That right there, boom. So they kept it still. Boom, they rebounded it and they took it up. There's your knocking, and they take it through. I like that. Knock, knock, taking the hand, dropping it down. Lighting carries a huge role there, but notice the subtlety of the lighting to help enhance the subtlety of the movement. The lighting wasn't this full flood, like a full flood light of red or orange or like those types of colors. It was just, it was just reintroduced itself into the space, which was cool. And I love the subtlety and the absence of movement from our members, and then our dancers walking with different head, different syncopation of the chest and shoulders. I love that, hitting it through, nice fullness on that as well. They switch on the ball change. I love that choice, boom and up and boom. I love the swooping of the torso. Really love that choice, and it's a subtle add-on for that part too. And then they do nice little ball change. They take it and rotate it around. Then there's the oje bam, this whole thing again. but we have JEONGHAN as our feature instead of WONWOO, which I love. Da da da. Then there's your body roll right there. This crisp in the transition. I love that we're using this motion to create a beautiful visual of the transition. The transition is a focal point here, and the movement is still a focal point, of course, but I always appreciate it when a choreographer or a movement director takes a move, and it's so cool in its own right, but seeing the formation and seeing that transition into something very simple but effective is so freaking sick. Really nice. And then we're going right here into our two different groups, which is, you know, they're standing instead of kneeling, which I think is still super dope. We're just reframing our sentence structure that we've been establishing since the get-go. So like having these two groupings, no surprise, but just different setup. I love the reveals with the eyes, super, super dope. And I like how he brings it up. Probably a wordplay choice on some of the mannerisms and subtleties of the arms and the hands, which I really like. So he takes it, and notice that with WONWOO, he takes both hands, and then you have with JEONGHAN, he takes one hand and he looks up. Really nice. And then right here, I love the lean back. Shout out to them for singing while leaning back. Yes, it is tricky. You have to calibrate your body differently whenever you are going back in some way, shape, or form. The gravity's different. Now, is this something that is the hardest thing for them to do? Probably not. I think they've done way more difficult things and have to showcase great stability in the process. But I mean, that's still, we can still give kudos where kudos is done. Like, I love the fact that we're very clearly knowing that they're singing live here, right? So we could definitely appreciate the joy of that. Yeah, they come up, and I like how you have WONWOO, he kind of takes his arms more internal, and then you have JEONGHAN takes his arms more higher up. It's very, very nice. It kind of showcases the subtlety of their characters in that way, too. It makes you curious about their storyline if you haven't seen it yet, right? And so I feel like a lot of you who are watching this have seen it. You probably know way more than I do, and so I'm always curious about the discussions for this, but I digress. Really cool. And then right here, you have all your dancers create a really fun kind of clumped, leveled, tiered vibe. And the commitment to them transitioning into the spot is what really helps sell the visual. The transition is what helps us not make it feel muddled. It kind of feels like we're creating an abstract shape, but with a collective and collaborative intention behind it, which I really like. It's cool. And JEONGHAN really sticks out here in a great way, and WONWOO kind of disappears in the back, which I kind of feel like is their intention for this. But notice they all set up. He has his hand that controls, and there's a nice subtlety there. And he walks away, and it kind of feels like they all reset by WONWOO moving too. I don't know, because the camera cut, but I do like it. Super dope. They all pan up, and then they kind of transition over. I love that they take the hands and they put it and connect it to the dancers. Now, the dancers pull back without needing their assistance, but I love the visual and the trigger effect. It reminds me a lot of 17's work, where they have a lot of trigger choices where either all the other members have there's an effect that happens in their movement based on a feature's trigger effect. I think is kind of my point, where like if one of them touches, everybody responds to it. That's what I see here. I see it that's just a 17 fingerprint that I really love seeing all the time. And so it's cool to see this here, where they go and they expand it back. They had to establish that column first in order for us to appreciate the breakaway. That was so cool. That was such a cool moment. There's some lightning here. There's your dance break. Boom. Nice little Superman, like not abstract, but like a full motion here. They take it, shampoo it around. Boom. Dropping it down. There's a subtlety. Boom. And so they go from high to low. I love that choice. Turning it through right here. Boom. And so they're using the torso to help justify the switch on that. I don't think they really did anything crazy on the feet. I love that boom, da-da-da-dee, so I like that switch on that too, doubling it up. Definitely syncopated for sure, which is super dope, especially if they're singing. I talked about this with Seonghwa with work. That is a really tricky section for him to do in verse 1, where he's writing a completely different rhythm than the groove in which he was asked to do. And it was aggressive enough to where he was asked if they wanted to change it, and he said no, and I think the reason why is because Jay Blaze said that was his favorite section. So Seonghwa fought really hard to get used to that. So all of that to say, whenever there's a vocal run that's happening, or a tone setting, or any type of lyricism that's justified vocally, it hits a different type of pattern than the syncopation that's going on in your body, even though there's parts of the music that you're hitting, it is polyrhythmic and difficult in nature, regardless of how subtle it is. So in this case, if they're vocalizing the doo, like the that's different than ding, 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 ding. It's different on the different parts of the music, but we can celebrate the fact that we get to appreciate it, and it feels so seamless and simple. But simple does not mean easy. It's very nice. And of course, we love the feathers hanging out here as confetti. Boom. I love that. Once again. Boom. Da-da-da. and then they body roll it through, and here's his choice. Boom, there's your transition once more, but it goes into a beautiful V. Oh, bum. The assist on that is so complimentary, so collaborative. This feels like this was equal to both of them. You know, it doesn't feel like it's obvious one person has a heavier priority than another, because sometimes duos kind of can go like that, or it feels a little too structured or too itemized. This one feels so like puzzle pieced together in a brilliant way that makes me really like the track more, honestly, because of this visual. This was dope. Ending fairy time, party of them. Let's see. We have WONWOO having some feathers on his hair. JEONGHAN in his blonde hair era. We're here for it. We live for it. This was so enjoyable, and a special thanks to YouTube for the comment left saying that they had an Mnet live dance take on this, because that's why I'm able to take a look, is because of that comment, because I would have never looked it up. This was so fun. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more 17, I've done an extensive deep dive into their discography from their debut until their most recent work, which is here, and I have a lot of that is available on YouTube, but I will always have more, and it's all early release, and I have some that are just locked away on Patreon. If you're somebody that likes to binge, is impatient, if you want to see my true lens of context in which I look at their movement quality, you can go check it out there to see all the good stuff. Once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.